YouTube and on TikTok and on Instagram.
First of all, I feel like TikTokers, okay, we have over 5,000
We do.
followers on TikTok, and we have never formally said hello.
I feel like TikTok is hard to do that. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's a different platform.
What is happening here? Oh, we're watching our own stream so that we can continue communicate with the chat. My bad. Yes.
So anyway, we haven't introduced ourselves formally.
Yeah.
Jalen, I'm Cacie, and this is our first live on TikTok.
Yep.
Hey TikTokers, and thank you for everyone who is joining. And what's up, Instagram? Hey, I'm gonna try to wave to all you guys, but I'm gonna have to reach over here.
Yeah.
And get that wave in.
Yeah, I guess let's introduce ourselves to TikTok. We're Jalen and Cacie, marriage and relationship YouTubers, content creators. Our main platform is YouTube, but we do have Instagram, YouTube here, and TikTok as well. Like I said, we do have over 5,000 followers on TikTok, but mostly we just release clips of our videos and never have really tuned in with you guys personally. So if you would like to, you have you can always put your questions and such things in the comments. And we're going to learn how TikTok works when it comes to
this is new. TikTok, hey. TikTok is new for us. It's the first time going live on TikTok, so we are definitely.
So if there's any cool features we don't know about, let us know. It's our first time doing it.
So you're going to see a lot of windshield wiper.
Yeah, we go back and forth.
Because we got 3 cameras right now.
Oh, but also remember this as well. This is the format what we do. Always let us know where you're watching from.
Yes.
What is your country that you're watching from? So let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd like to know if we have an international audience.
I'm moving to watch you on
YouTube. Cool.
Okay,
yeah, YouTube.
Cool.
Yeah, YouTube, you get the horizontal. If everyone on TikTok, our YouTube's in our bio. Hit that link. Make sure everyone's watching JCTV, our 24/7 live stream of all of our content. Always be sure to check that out as well. But yeah, let us know what country you're watching from, whether it's the US, somewhere in South Africa, Nigeria, Jamaica, St. Vincent, wherever you are. Let us know where you're watching from.
Thank you, everyone on TikTok that's joining.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's get into today's topic. Today we are talking about investing in your marriage. And that's very apropos for us to talk about that because we just got done doing that this past weekend.
Yeah, we went to our very first EXO marriage conference.
Yeah.
If you don't know what EXO marriage is, you go to exomarriage.com and look up their platform. It's just so awesome. And the reason why we're so fond of it is because when we were struggling the first couple of years in our marriage, I tell this story all the time. I Google searched. I don't know what I Googled. I wish to God I remember what I Googled, but I was in that moment like, Lord, I know you promised me a good marriage.
Yeah.
Like, I know that I can have a good marriage. I know you want me to have the best, and I need help.
Yeah.
And I knew Jesus was the answer, but I needed some tools.
Yeah.
So I Googled something, and EXO marriage was one of the first things that popped up.
Yep.
And ever since then, we've been following them, and we started following them on YouTube first.
Yeah.
And
we recently found the playlist that you had made.
We made a playlist back, 2017, 18-ish, I think.
Before 2018, I think.
We got married in 2016. And we have over 60 videos in that playlist where we literally just watch them over and over again. And that's how we learn how to talk and communicate.
Yep.
And ever since then, we've been following them, partnering up with them. And so this past weekend was the first time we went to a live event with them. And man, it was amazing.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. It was just like total immersion. It was all about marriage. It was all about couples. And it was like a retreat for us because we didn't have our son with us. He was with his grandparents. And even though I totally missed him while I was gone, but it was very
much needed.
It was very much needed for us to be there together and just kind of refreshing and some tuning up.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this is going to be more about.
Yeah.
Like we posted today about tuning up your marriage. No,
yesterday. Yeah.
About tuning up your marriage. And no matter how long you've been married and no matter how well you think you're doing right now, it's important that you always maintaining your marriage. And we use the example of a car.
Yeah.
Most of us have cars, and if you don't, you've been in a car, you've been in some kind of vehicle in your life, and you have to understand that in order for it to run properly, there is a maintenance that you have to maintain on that vehicle. When you get the car, it comes with a manual that tells you how many miles before you need to change your oil, how many miles you need before you rotate your tires, how many miles you need to check the engine oil, how many miles to do everything. Like there's a maintenance. And if you stay on top of those things properly, your vehicle can run for years, even decades. I mean, how many you've seen cars that are like from the 1950s still running on the road because somebody maintained that vehicle and it's running like brand new. So your car doesn't have to age. Your car doesn't have to lose any power just because it's older. So just like that, marriage is the same way. Your marriage can be just as fresh, can be just as exciting, as powerful, invigorating, satisfying.
Well, here's the thing, it should get better.
It should get better.
And that's the truth of it. It actually should get better. It's one of those things that doesn't get worse, it gets better. Shout out to South Korea. Someone on YouTube said they watched South Korea. So make sure you, again, everybody let us know where you're watching from, what country. We like to give you shout outs for that.
And if this, look, share this video.
Yeah.
Share the link with your friends, your family.
Yeah. But one thing I noticed that people tend to treat marriage like we treat the health of our bodies.
Yeah.
We really kind of ignore it so long as nothing's screaming at us up until it breaks down.
Well, I mean, same thing with car. I have to use cars. I believe everybody can relate to that. Because I know people that literally drive their car until they hear something. And by the time you've heard that noise, that ping, that ticking, that knocking sound, your car is in trouble. And it's probably going to be an expensive fix. If you had kept up on your maintenance, the maintenance guy or the mechanic will say, hey, your tire pads are wearing thin. It's time to change those. It's time for you to get some new tires. Your tread is running low. Your engine oil is low. We need to change that. But if you ignore all the signs, if you ignore maintenance, you're going to find yourself on the side of the road at some point in your relationship. So don't take for granted when you're having good times. That's when most people slack off, is when you're having a good time. And that's the best time to sow seeds of investment in your marriage. It's also a prime time for the enemy to sneak in because you're not paying attention. You're not being vigilant because, oh, everything is good. We're doing good. And then, boom, you find yourself hitting a wall and trying to figure out, well, what the heck happened?
Well, and kind of digging deeper into that, it's like, okay, well, why don't people invest? A lot of it comes down to money. And on the physical health side of it, I've heard the statement, I think we said before ourselves even, is that you're going to spend money on your body at some point in your life. Whether it be when you're sick and in a hospital because you didn't take care of it, or whether now on good food for your diet and exercise and all that. But oftentimes when everything seems to be okay, we refuse to invest the money it takes to keep our bodies up, because we're like, okay, I don't want to spend all that money on a gym membership. Food is expensive to get the spinach and the fruits and all things that I need. And so we tend to push it off for financial reasons. But I realized the same thing for marriage, because it took us, I won't say a great exponential expense, but it took us some money to go travel to where this conference was. You know, it wasn't in our state, so we had to travel several hours to get there, travel several hours to get back. We had to pay for a hotel, you know, we had to eat while we were out of town, we had to do all these things. And so it takes an expense. So when you're looking at that and you say, well, it's not that deep, I don't have to invest all of that. And that sort of thing is what, every time you push off putting in the investment, whether it be for your body, whether it be for your car, whether it be for your marriage, you know, that's just one little extra ding of damage that's being done year by year by year as you don't attend to it. But it is worth it. It is worth it to invest, because
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, one thing I want to say on the expense side, like talking about the health, the same way you'll spend the money on your health when you're sick and in a hospital years from now, you also spend it on your marriage, because we're at the conference and they made mention of how expensive a divorce could be. And like something like $90,000 on average. And it's like, that's when you take in the lawyers, this is when you take in having to get a new place to live, getting a new vehicle, child care, all that stuff. You add all together, divorce is expensive.
And we're not even talking about the mental and spiritual
Yes.
anguish it puts on you going through something so
Yeah.
traumatic. Because I don't care what you say. Some people say, well, I feel freer, but divorce is a traumatic experience.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And anybody who experienced divorce know this. If you are a child that has seen their parents divorce, you know that it's a traumatic experience, and it does affect you mentally. It affects you spiritually in a way that you may not know that it has.
But it's possible to actually just avoid all that by spending time investing in your marriage all the way through.
Exactly.
And so, that's why we decided we're not going to put it off. We always wanted to go to one of these conferences.
Yeah, because it's this thing called wear and tear.
Yeah.
And wear and tear on a vehicle could be the elements, the roads you're driving on, things of that nature. But in a marriage, it is everyday life stresses. Challenges, whether that be financial, physical, relational, raising children. I mean, just a whole lot of things can come and be a stressor to your relationship. And if you just leave it unattended and you just go on for months and years like that without addressing issues or without maintaining your marriage, those things are going to weaken your relationship at some point. And one day you're going to wake up and trying to find out, when did we get here?
Yeah.
How did we get here? That's a common thing that we hear a lot in marriage when we're talking to people is, I don't know when we got here.
Yeah.
It just seemed like overnight he changed or overnight she changed. And no, nothing's ever overnight. There's something happening all the time. Just like we can't see germs moving, we can't see bacteria moving, but you put it under a microscope, it is very much alive.
Yeah.
And it is working, it is doing something, it is building something, and it's just waiting for the right environment so that it can release the symptoms. And a lot of times we ignore symptoms. Like in our car, there's a dashboard and it has lights on it. And a lot of times we see that oil light come on and we ignore it.
Well, what are some lights in marriage then? Let's take the example all the way through. What are some of those warning lights in marriage that are letting you know, hey, you need to attend to it?
Oh, well, for us, it was our attitude. Our attitudes. You could, it was either very snappy, very sharp, and it was like, oh, I'm just having a bad day, but it became kind of like a consistent type thing.
Yeah, you get edgy,
Edgy. Not communicating.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's a big one.
That's the worst one right there.
When you stop talking, and you just all you're doing now is just talking at each other. You're not talking to and with. You're just talking at each other.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other things.
Well, if your physical intimacy starts to
intimacy
drop. And the sad thing on some of these symptoms is people think this is normal.
Yeah.
People think like, oh, I got older, I got back pain now. Okay, well, I guess that's normal. Well, it's not. It may be common. We say it's a lot. Just because it's common does not mean it's normal.
Yeah.
There are certain things that people just expect and they tell you, well, as you get older, y'all are going to stop having sex as much, or y'all going to get on each other's nerves more. You're not going to talk as much because y'all know everything about each other. You're not going to go out on dates as much, things like that, because the kids will take up all the time. And you hear these things from people who have been married a long time, you think, oh, that's a normal part of marriage. But it's not. You're not supposed to grow older in marriage and hate each other. You're not supposed to grow older and stop being physically intimate with one another. It may be common, very common, but it doesn't mean it's normal.
Well, let me just share this with you guys. And, we're using all these examples, hoping that it'll click for you. Now, we, towards the end of 2020, we really got serious about our health and fitness.
Yeah.
We had JJ, our son. He's now 1.5. He'll be 2 this coming August. I can't believe we almost have a 2-year-old. Yeah. But he was born August of 2020, and we started our fitness journey around October 2020. And that's a whole other story. But the point was, we went on this journey, and I was experiencing some things in my body, and I was like, why my body just not clicking? Yes, I had a baby. I know that it takes time for your body to recover. But long story short, I'm trying to get to, we go to a chiropractor. And I've been going to the chiropractor now for almost a year now. I'm coming up on a year of going to the chiropractor. And one of the things that our chiropractor was like, the reason why we experience so much pain and we think that is due to aging, it's not aging, it's because you have what we call subluxations. And what are subluxations? And if my chiropractor, Dr. Marco, is watching, hey, hope I get this right. what it is basically, it's just when your spine is out of alignment.
Yeah, misalignments.
Subtle
misalignments
that happen over the course of your whole life. I mean, even as a baby, you can get out of alignment. We get our sun adjusted periodically as well. But these misalignments happen because of just normal life, sports, activities, walking, falling, incidents, bad posture, just a whole lot of things cause us to get out of alignment. So what happens when you're young, you really don't feel these things because youth is just one of these magical things, right? You don't feel stuff. You just go to sleep and you feel better. But as progression, as time goes on, you're wearing down the disc in your back and the disc in your joints, the fluid in your joints, because stuff is out of whack. And so now you're 30. Things are starting to feel different. And you think, oh man, I've got these 30-year-old knees. I'm getting old. Now you're 40. I'm getting old. When no, it's not old. It is a lack of maintenance.
Yeah, and you've been misaligned for so long, and now it's catching up with you to where you notice it now. It's not when you notice the pain that something has gone wrong. So in marriage, it's not when suddenly y'all just can't stand each other, something has gone wrong. There's a build up to that.
It's a build up.
The whole falling out of love, and that's an improper term, but let's just use it. Falling in love doesn't happen overnight.
That's right. This
is a progression of things. Just like it took a progression for y'all to fall in love, it's a progression to quote unquote fall out. Again, wrong terms, but I'll just use them for now. And so there's something that's been going on for a long time. So the only way to avoid that is to do this maintenance now. Sometimes people get to a bad place and they wonder, well, should I get counseling? And some people don't want it. And I'll say this, I believe in counseling all day and all night for your marriage. But I would say this to people, if you would do the things, the regular maintenance, you might not ever need counseling, to be perfectly honest, So it's worth the investment. It's like, okay, so what are these investments? Is it hopping in my car and going to a conference? Yeah, it could be. It could also be watching marriage videos and training and getting teaching, If you have a profession of some sort, especially those ones that I don't know, being a doctor or a lawyer, or it doesn't have to be something like that. It really is anything. There's always some form of continuing education if you want to continue to be a professional and do a good job, especially when you're dealing with clients.
Well, we call it keeping our skills sharp. I worked behind the chair. I was a stylist for almost 20 years. And periodically every year, I would go to classes. I would go to training to keep my skills sharp. Because just because you went to school, you don't know everything.
Years ago, yeah.
You don't know everything. And things change. Technology change. Products change. Things like that. So we go to classes and we get certification and new things, and we sharpen our skills because you never want to get dull.
So you do that for your profession because it's how I make money.
Yeah.
But for some reason, we don't think we need continuing education for our marriage. And it's like, you need to be constantly learning because the person you're married to is constantly changing. You are constantly changing.
We're constantly changing. And what changes us? Circumstances, situations, life, stresses. People came out of 2020, this whole pandemic. And people discover a lot of things about themselves because they were stuck in the house with their spouse, somebody that didn't spend a lot of time with in the beginning. And they're like, oh my God. And they was like, the pandemic changed our relationship. Some people was better, some got worse. A lot of it was worse for a lot of people. And the thing is that they lacked having this foundation of maintenance. They were just going on in and out. We deal with people all the time where they don't know their spouse. You go to work, deal with the kids, you're in and out, you're just passing each other. Like a freeway, passing each other. But when you gotta really pause and stop for a moment, that's when you see all the cracks. That's when you see all the frailty, you see all the problems. And that's where we go like, what happened to me? What happened? And we never want to find ourselves there. We're not perfect, guys. Like, we are still learning, but we recognize the fact that we are work in progress. And in order to continue to progress, we have to continue to learn. We have to continue to submit ourselves to the Word of God and training, guidance if necessary. Like, we have to do that. We can't take for granted that because right now we're good and we like each other, we love each other, and even the fact that we're up here talking to you guys about marriage, no. We've said this before. We talk from a place of having gone through, going through. So we talk from all those places. We're talking from experience here. We're not sharing anything that we haven't experienced
Well, the
ourselves.
only reason we can share we share is because we're consistently doing this.
Yeah.
You know, you don't follow people who call themselves a master of something and they learned everything.
No
All the
such thing.
people that I follow for any category, something I want to learn about, whether it be business, finance, in the Word of God, the people that I follow, all people who
I still learn.
always saying
Yeah.
that they have not attained it all yet. Apostle Paul, he mentioned that in one of his letters. He said, I have not obtained it, but I'm constantly pressing toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus. So the best masters, the best teachers are the ones who are still learning. So when you see us doing things like going to conferences and getting new books and things like that, and we're sharing it with you, that's a good sign that, you know, we're on a good track and you should be listening to us, because we don't feel like we've got it all. And because you can't have it all, because marriage is a constant growth process. And it's you never learn so much that you are capable of missing it.
Yeah.
You're always capable of missing it, and it's that knowledge that makes you stay on guard. And so yeah, we had a lot of fun at the conference and everything, and we got ourselves a new book too as well, because that's another way to invest in your marriage, reading books. You know, and sometimes if you're not much of a reader, you can always do audiobooks. This one we got is a new book by Dave and Ashley Willis called The Counterfeit Climax, and we just started it the other day, and it's already
And
really,
I'm
really
telling you, it's a
good.
fire book, and I know this title is like, ooh, what is it talking about? You need to get the book.
Yeah.
You need to get the book.
But it's really good. It's talking about different principles and things about sex and relationships that you know, super interesting and very important for marriage. So we're excited to get into it and everything. But we were at the conference and we bought that as well because, again, investing and find out what works for y'all. You know, when I say y'all, you and your spouse. If you prefer audiobooks, do audiobooks. If you prefer reading, read. If y'all like watching videos, watch videos. If you like podcasts, find a podcast. Being in person, all right, go to events and things. You know, there's always something that you can do to invest and to improve and to fine tune and to learn more, because it's vitally important.
And it's good to have regular checkups. You know, yearly we do our marriage retreat, and we learned that as a result of hooking up with XO Marriage. And that is where at the top of the year we talk about what our year plan is for our marriage. We get a word from the Lord for our marriage. We get direction from God for our marriage, and we talk things out and we write it out. And we've done that so far over the last few years, and it's been very helpful for us. And it's almost it's a check-in as well to say, hey, how are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Are you happy? Are you good?
Yeah.
Like, where can I improve? You know, and it's an opportunity for us to be intimate, not just in a physical sense, but really soul and spirit, like intimate with one another, because we want to know each other on a deeper level. Yeah. Because again, life gets busy, you know. I mean, we are business owners. He has a 9 to 5. I'm a full-time mom. We're very active in our church. We're leaders in our church, and we do a lot of things. And we sometimes, you know, you pass each other, like we said before, and you get busy and you kind of like forget to check in sometimes. So it's good to have on your calendar that ever so many weeks, ever so many days, we're going to check in and make sure that everything is good. If we're going to talk about these things, we have that intimate conversation so we can just make sure everything is good. Like some people, you know, every day they check their tire pressure. There's some people who are very meticulous about their vehicle, and they will check their tire pressure to make sure that they're good, because they don't want to get on the highway and have a blowout. Like, that's just maintenance right there. That's good maintenance.
Yeah, from Cacie, my partner and I recently started premarital counseling. It's been very helpful for us, especially for me to get to know him a little bit better, as he's Korean and rarely shares his emotions. Yeah, she's from, if you mentioned this earlier, she's from South Korea, but she's South African.
Okay.
Living in South Korea, and her fiance partner is Korean.
I think that's awesome, because I was going to mention this and I forgot, but thank you for that, because I brought this back up. Is that if you are not married and you up here, or if you just enter into a relationship, I highly encourage people who are on that road to about to get married to get guidance and like learn these principal cores that we're teaching now. It will make it so much easier for you. I wish I could just encourage young people or people who are in this dating arena how to engage in relationships, or how to engage in the forward into marriage.
Yeah.
Because I think we get it wrong a lot of times. We get our whole soul and life invested in someone, and then, oh, we won't get married. And I always say, most people, if you would sit them down and guide them and say, hey, you're not ready for marriage, by the time they sit down in front of somebody to get guidance, they've already set the date, they got the dress, they got the tux, they invited all the people. And 9 times out of 10, nobody's going to cancel that event. They're not going to cancel because they put money out there. They put their word out there. And now it's pride and money on the table. So I tell people all the time, don't get that far along before you get guidance, before you get counsel. Because you need to know, because marriage is a serious thing. So the fact that y'all getting premarital counsel, awesome. Stay there. Learn. It's going to help you a whole lot.
And shout out to, I hope I'm saying this right. You're always up here, Ladine. Let me know if I'm saying your name correctly. Dean Ridley, who's watching us from work as usual. Yes, that's your thing. Why? Because we always go live whenever you're at work. So thank you for watching. But yeah, so investing. And another have to invest, you kind of touched on a little bit with the marriage retreat thing, but not just investing as far as, external materials to make sure you're, doing marriage correctly, but investing and spending time with each other. One thing we're doing, and we've done less of it since JJ's been born, as far as consistently, but I would take, like, every 6 weeks, we'd take a day off of work and we would spend a day together, and we decided to do that so that it was always like a mini vacation. What's the one big vacation every year generally, but a little mini staycation kind of thing, take a day or two and spend time together. And that's taking time to invest. You can't just work 24/7. You got to set aside time, even when you have children, to just spend time together, invest in time together, talking, communicating, and all of that, going on dates. So you have to invest that time because it matters. If it's important, you have to prioritize it to make it matter.
And kind of going back to, there are seasons in life, and right now we're in a season of parenting a little, almost 2-year-old, and he's very clingy, he's very needy. Like even today, normally we would be in the gym. Like we would go to the gym, but because he's small, and we take him with us to the gym. But tonight we didn't have anybody to like watch him while we in the gym. So we said, no, we're gonna work out at home. So what we did at the beginning of this year, we invested in a row machine. If you don't know what that is, look it up, row machine. And, it costs money to do that. It's not a cheap piece of equipment, but it's a well-worth piece of equipment. And we knew that there would be times when we are going to have to work out at home. So we want to make sure that we had equipment that our gym has so that we can maintain our fitness. So even that is an investment, not only in our health, but in our marriage, in our relationship. So those times when we're like, look, we need to prioritize being home. Let's get what we need so we can do that at home.
Another example, that's a good point, going that direction. Another one thing we did was, nowadays most people don't have home phones, but we invested and got one so that we
could, so old school, old fashioned to have, but like a
we purposefully decided to do it because we wanted to do was spend less time on our phones in the evenings, and so that we could spend time together. So we wanted to actually put our phones like in a separate room, like upstairs or we're downstairs. So that we wouldn't be tempted to, look at them while we're in the middle talking or even just watching TV together. And so, but I remember you were telling me, you said, you weren't comfortable doing that in case someone needed to reach us if there was an emergency. So your suggestion was, if we got a home phone and gave everybody, like our family, our home phone number, they could reach us sometimes when our cell phone is not with us. And at first I was kind of be frugal, like, we don't need a home phone, we need a home phone, we got cell phones. And I was like, no, it's worth it because this is us investing in our marriage. So I'll pay the extra monthly amount of money it takes to have the home phone that we'll never use for any reason other than in case it's an emergency, because it matters for our marriage. And that's the thinking you got to have. And if every time going on a date, going out to get a nice dinner, buying your spouse something on Valentine's Day, if every time you think about these things, it's like, oh, it's not worth the money. It's not worth the money. Well, is the marriage worth it to you? Because with something that you love, your heart is to give toward it, and it's worth the investment. And for people who love their cars, they will invest in washing it every week, making sure the tires are shining, things like that. If you got clothes that you like, you got sneakers that you love, you're going to make sure they stay clean. You get all the materials you need to clean your sneakers up because you don't want them to get dirty. We spend money on the things that we love. We spend money on things that we treasure and cherish. That's I'm butchering the scripture now, but where your treasure is, that's where your heart will be. Or where your heart be, that's where your treasure will be. And that's a true statement that Jesus made. So if your marriage is your treasure, you'll invest in it. You'll spend the money and the time on it. They're two valuable commodities.
You know, one of the most amazing things that we discovered when we went on this, went to the conference this past weekend, is that, yeah, we went to this conference for a tune-up, you know, and just to be there and to learn and grow. But we discovered that because of all the work that we have put in our marriage over the past 5.5 years, how much we've grown. Like,
yeah, it was nice to see.
It was nice to see. It's like, wow. And there's some personal details that we won't share right now about what we discovered, but it was like we have grown.
Yeah,
we have truly grown, and it was like, wow, it's amazing. I almost cried about it. Well, I did kind of cry about it because it had this vow renewal at the end of the session, and I cried because I'm like, we are so much stronger than we were day one.
Yeah.
And I am so grateful for the work. And you guys, it was not always easy. And in my mind, I was like, why does it have to be so much work? You know, the fairy tales, the movies, it didn't look like this, you know. And it doesn't have to be hard work, but sometimes it is. Like sometimes sometimes it is.
It takes effort.
It takes effort and it takes intention.
Work out at the gym. It takes effort.
It does.
You know, it does.
Like we go to the gym, it's like, why am I here? Did I literally pay to be tortured today? But I'm telling you, the payoff is so worth it. It is so worth it. Because day one going to the gym, remember how I felt and how weak I was to where I'm now? It's like, girl.
You know, I'll say this. There's this common misbelief for people who getting into marriage is that if we're right for each other, then it shouldn't take a whole lot of work. No. If it takes effort, a whole lot of effort for us to connect and to spend time and to make it work, if it's not just automatic, like we just always want it and always want each other and always want to be, if it's not like that, then there's something wrong. You know, no one ever looks at a supermodel or a person who's fitness, who lost a lot of weight and looks really good. They got the chiseled abs and they got the biceps and everything, and says, well, if you were meant to have that body, it would have just came naturally. You wouldn't have had to work for it. Doesn't that sound kind of stupid?
If it was that easy,
like you look at someone who put in all this effort and then tell them, well, it shouldn't have taken all that effort. You should have just been born with that body and not to put anything into it. If you had to work to get that kind of body, then that means that it's not
well,
real.
Listen, you can go on the car lot right now and buy you the Mercedes Benz. You can buy a Bentley, Rolls Royce, whatever. One of the best running cars on the market right now. But if you never put it in the shop to maintain it, it's going to break apart. I don't care how beautiful it was the day you bought it. I don't care how smooth it rode. It won't be that way if you don't take care of it.
It's the same thing in your marriage. Your body is the same thing in your marriage. It takes maintenance and it takes work. It takes effort. And all the best things in life take effort to get there and to maintain it once it is there.
And you keep your marriage covered. Like people buy cars like that. Those cars are in garages. They are in climate control situations. They don't come out until they have to come out. You know, but you know, the rest of us, we don't do that. We got acid rain. I remember buying a car one time and the dealership was trying to get me to purchase a special coating to put on my car. So I'm gonna paint a special coating on it because they pulled out this chart and was like, in Virginia, acid rain. You have acid rain and it protects your car from hail and sleet and all this stuff. And you know, me not having the extra cash to do anything extra to my car, I was like, nah, I don't need that. But let me tell you something. Because I don't put my car in the garage, because I don't cover it up with anything, guess what? Over time, your paint will begin to fade. Yeah. Like it will begin to fade, chip, whatever. And you'd be like, that acid rain is kind of real. You know, and you ever seen cars? You know, you ever seen cars and you see the hoods are fading and stuff fading, trying to figure out what's happening. That's because of elements. And that's because the car isn't properly protected. That car doesn't get waxes. It doesn't, you know, it's just the sun is beating on it. The acid rain, the bird poop, the sleet, the snow, the dirt that you don't wash off your car, you know, in 6 months. Like it's just a whole lot of stuff attacking that car's paint. And over time, I don't care how much you pay for that car is gonna look raggedy. It's gonna look ashy. It's gonna be chipping. It's just a whole lot, guys. So basically the point is, invest in your marriage, maintain your marriage. Marriage cannot be autopilot. It does not work.
Think about your most prized possession, whatever it may be. It could be your car. It could be your physical appearance. Some people will I refuse to walk out without makeup or without,
It
you
could be
know,
your nails,
whatever
it
like
could be
that.
your clothes.
It could be your phone. Some of us protect. We will,
Listen,
protect your phone to the nth degree, whatever like
when
that.
I
But
buy a new phone,
hold on.
can I just say
No,
something?
because you're gonna go away.
Okay, but listen.
But hold on,
Let me say it.
real
It's in my
quick
brain.
though, real quick though.
It's in my brain. I gotta say it.
Go ahead.
Listen, phones are mad expensive, you guys, and I'm a phone person. I enjoy my phones a lot. Okay, holla Samsung. Ooh, okay, anyway, before I get my phone, I go to the store or I order my phone from the company. Guess what's in my cart?
Yeah, she
A phone case.
Anytime she gets a new phone, she has the case first.
I have the case first because I'm not walking outside my house. I don't understand people who get
One
a phone.
time you was with me. Y'all supposed to be getting a phone. We ended up not getting it, but because you convinced me to, I had the case. I had the case. Never gotten the phone. I decided not to get it because the deal that was supposed to be with it. It wasn't really the deal, but I wouldn't spend that money on that phone. But we had the case.
Look, I'm not walking outside my house without my phone being fully protected because those things cost a lot of money, and I ain't about to drop my phone and shatter in front of my face. Like, I'm not having that. That's the kind of person I am.
So think about your most prized possession. Maybe it's your phone. Maybe it's your car. Maybe it's your physical appearance. Think about how much effort you put into keeping it that way, and then look at your marriage if you're married, and think, do I even put as much effort into my marriage as I put into my prized possession? Think about that. Think about the person. Think about the person that you're married to. And think, do I treat them as well as I treat my phone? Do I protect them as well as I protect my phone? Would I do anything to make sure that they never get damaged and that I'm always there for them to protect them, to shield them from looking bad in public? You know, do you value your spouse as much as your prized possession? And if you realize, man, I spend more time or I do more to protect or shield other things, other people more than my spouse, you've learned something today.
And you should follow us on YouTube.
Okay, so for TikTok folks, I don't know, do TikTok lives remain or when it's over, it's over?
I have no idea.
Can you watch them back? I have no idea. So anyway, if you on TikTok, link in bio, subscribe to us on YouTube. And also that's the best way to keep up with our like daily posts because we post on Instagram and on YouTube pretty much daily, like 5 days a week. So you stay tuned with us. We don't ever stream on Facebook.
Oh, yes,
follow us on Facebook too.
Yes.
But you can follow us on Facebook as well. But yeah, those are our main platforms. So if this seems like it was successful, we'll keep streaming on TikTok, I suppose. We typically stream once a week. Live stream, and then of course we upload our videos. And we will upload it. We've got multiple videos in the that's what I'm looking for. The key that we're backlog that we're going to release. And there is one coming up about marriage resources, like books that we've read over the course of our marriage. So we'll share.
To go to Amazon.
I don't know why.
How to be single and happy. Yes, it's a hot fire book. Like, it's a small book. It's easy to read. You need to download. It's on Amazon.
Something's wrong with the YouTube stream.
Okay. If you don't want to get on Amazon, you can also go to JalenCacie.com and you can download the PDF as well. And all that information is in the link in our bio. If you're on Instagram, if you're on TikTok, it's in that bio.
Link in bio. Link in bio on TikTok will take you to YouTube.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of links there. Just go to JalenCacie.com.
Yeah.
And Instagram, yes, it is in the bio. How to be single and happy. You can get it there. And YouTube is in the description of this video. I don't know what happened to the YouTube chat. It seemed like it froze for a minute. We lost some of you guys. But we're back now. So I don't know what happened there. But yeah, there was a freeze there for a minute. Give you some tips on a happy marriage. Ooh. There's got to be a video. Actually, there's a video we did. It wasn't called Happy Marriage. It was called Saving Your Marriage, How to Save Your Marriage, something like that. I'm gonna well look, if Kiki, I'm assuming you're subscribed. It's like I've seen you before. I'm gonna post a video to our community tab after this is over. It's gonna be posted for everybody, but that's the video that I want you to watch. That I think
YouTube was messing up,
Yeah, YouTube was messing up. Okay, yeah. But yeah, Kiki, just go to our community tab in a few minutes after we're off this live. I'm gonna post the video, maybe a playlist or something like that, but at least one video that I think will be good for you. But yeah. Oh, but I will say this: anytime anyone asks me for marriage advice, the number one thing I always tell people: communicate.
Yes.
Never stop communicating. Talk. Spend time talking. And actually, we do have coming up, Kiki, so stay tuned,
Yes.
a communication challenge that we were telling everybody about a few weeks ago.
Gonna be fire.
We were actually just working on it this week. It's gonna be really, it's gonna be hot.
Fire.
So yeah, this is gonna be dope. So yeah, please stay tuned for that, because it's going to we're gonna put together a group of people to do it. But yeah, if you tune in for that, you'll get what you're looking for. So
and we
stay
know
tuned
it
for
works
that.
because that's what we did.
Oh yeah.
About communication, we've helped others already with their communication in their marriage, and it works.
Yeah, we're gonna start showing you guys the methods that we actually use. We teach
Yeah.
the principles, but we're gonna start walking you guys through some of the methods of what we actually did step by step for our marriage.
Because a lot of people need that. They need to see it hands on, like see how it works.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be fire. I can't wait to release
and,
that. So again, like Jalen said, if you're not following us, make sure you follow us. Make sure you have all your notifications on. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, do that, because you probably will get it first on Instagram, the announcement. But that communication challenge is coming up very, very, very soon.
And Kiki said she's gonna need that because she struggles with communication. Everyone does.
Everyone does.
That was our chief issue.
Yep.
Whenever we talk about it, our chief issue was communication. We had a lot, but it was communication, and just about everyone does. I've met very few, myself included. I've met very few good communicators. It's not a skill they teach you in school.
Exactly. You have to. Some people can talk well.
Yep.
We can orate well.
We can debate well.
We can debate well. We may even be poetic in things. But learning how to communicate is a skill that has to be learned. And some of us are not as good of communicators as we think we are.
Oh yeah.
Because it's an art of talking and listening.
Yep.
And receiving and giving.
And empathy.
It's a whole lot of things that we just don't grow up learning how to do.
We're gonna help you, so stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to all our networks and everything, so that you do it. Everybody watch JCTV. It's a great thing. It's got 24/7 marriage principles and a few vlogs and things thrown in there too. But if you ever just don't know what you want to watch, but you want to do some learning, hit up the JCTV 24/7 stream. The link is in the description of this video.
And we got some new stuff coming, some new content for the ladies, because it has been highly requested.
Oh, about to be talking about that.
I'm about to get into it, girl.
No, I said I forgot about it.
Okay. It's been requested that I do makeup videos. So I have one that I'm working on right now. We're editing that right now. So that's when it should be released hopefully in the next few days. And so yeah, I'm excited, ladies. So get excited. These makeup tutorials are about to happen. Because we're just going to be sharing our lives. We're more than just marriage teachers, and we love to share that with you guys.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
So as we always say a million times, stay tuned.
Great stuff is coming.
Yeah.
So I guess that is. I don't even know what time it is.
On our end, it's 9:13.
Oh wow!
What time is it in your country?
What happened to 30 minutes?
What always happens to 30 minutes. We never said
y'all said we're gonna do a 30-minute live, and then we're gonna be off.
It don't work out.
I blame you.
Well.
Yeah, you get it going. But anyway, thank you all for joining this live. It's always fun. 10:13. Oh, you know what? God bless y'all. God bless y'all so much. Oh my goodness. I mean, I am so thankful. I don't know if we say this enough, but I want to take every opportunity to thank every person who joined us, who subscribed, who follows, who likes, whatever, because you're not obligated to.
Turn around until 9:13.
Yep. Oh goodness. You're not obligated to, so we know what time it is for you, Denzel. We're just so thankful and blessed by you guys. Like, we really, really are. We don't get up here for the follows, for the likes, for the I don't know, YouTube fame or whatever. We're doing this because we really have a heart for people. God gave us a heart for people, but married people or people who want to be married, relationships in general is our passion. So we're so thankful and blessed to have the opportunity to do that. So thank you for allowing us to come into your space and be Jalen and Cacie and talk marriage.
Yeah. We do appreciate it. It means a lot to us. And like I say, going to that conference, seeing how far we've come and seeing the people, on the stage and teaching the principles, and knowing that for the amount of time we've been married and the people who want to listen to us, that we've been able to help some people, that we've been helped.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really what it's all about. We just want to help people the way we were helped. And so that's why Jalen and Cacie came to be.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
no
why we're
reason.
married.
Yeah, that's why we're married.
And thank you so much. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
All right, that's all for now. I don't know if TikTok has replay or not, but for everyone who's tuning into replay, still let us know where you're watching from, and even leave some questions. Maybe catch you next week. Otherwise, we'll probably see you guys hopefully next Sunday with our next live.
Okay.
All right,
Love
let's
you guys.
X all these out one by one. Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Or good morning to some of y'all.